Greetings and salutations. It is the Clarey podcast. How you guys doing? It's chilly a little bit today. I'm glad that it's summer. I'm glad that we decided that we're going to maybe break 60 degrees every day for the past 4 hours. What was it? When we got back, there was no reason to come back. I should have just stayed in Vegas. Should have stayed out west. It was 80s and 90s. Heck, even in Rapid City, this week we got up to the 90s. It's supposed to be in the 90s in Rapid City. And I was going to drive there, and I just didn't have the energy. The GF, she left for like a fishing trip with the girls. Hey, you're going to have a girls' weekend. All the girls. Hello, girls. Hello, Tiffany. Let's go. And they were going to like go to some cabin and go fishing up north. Not real fishing because apparently, the company that owns the cabin, they have a groundskeeper. And the groundskeeper was going to, like, do all the cleaning and the gutting and the filleting of the fish. So the women just have to catch the fish. Oh, my goodness, Tina! We caught something. And then, I don't know, Esteban or Carlos would have to get his hands on the slimy fish. Lord knows, it'd probably be like when your grandfather, yuck, it gross, a worm. I don't want to put it on. There's probably some poor guy up there right now with a bunch of middle-aged broads who's got to hold their hand through everything and bait the hook, maybe unhook the fish, kill the fish, fillet the fish, cook the fish. So the girls are up there doing whatever the girl things are. They're going to sit and they're drinking, having flirtinis. I don't know. I can't. Actually, she sent me some pictures. Looks like they're kind of being manly women. They're four-wheeling. They're actually fishing. I know my girlfriend and the girly girls, they can actually catch the fish, but they didn't have to fillet it. They have to clean or gut the fish. Which questions? Is it really fishing? So it is the Clarey podcast. I'm Aaron Clarey. I'm very tired. I just woke up from a nap. 3-hour nap. Oh, was it heavenly. Oh, was it wonderful. I woke up earlier this morning, kind of 50-50. Do I want to get up? And that's when your body decides, no, you're getting up whether you like it or not. I guess I'm at that age now. Once you go past 30, your body says, no, you're waking up. Once your eyes are open, nope, no way we're going to go back to sleep. Can't do that. Used to be able to do that. I had this technique where I'd wake up, I say, no, I'm going to go back to bed. I would force myself to go back to sleep, get another 3 hours sleep, and have not been able to recall that skill. So I've been getting up whether I want to or not. And I've been all right, but this time, boy, something about 1 p.m., just, oh, man, I'm tired. And so I just lie down on the bed. Maybe I'll lie down on the bed a little. And that's usually when you take a long zonking nap. And I think I was out in about 5 minutes. Was listening to the Chris Beckloff podcast on YouTube, but I didn't remember a darn thing. It's great. You can listen to these podcasts multiple times over because you never really listen to it thoroughly. The only way you can really listen to it thoroughly is if you're on a road trip or you're running or hiking, which I think I'll do today. I think go for a walk. Nice little walk. Long hike. Oh, weekend was fun. Had cigars, had booze, talked to my buddies. Actually, friends came to visit me in my town. It was wonderful. And, just had a nice, I wouldn't say gluttonous. I want to go as far as to say gluttonous. No, I think it was just a very enjoyable weekend. Had a beautiful day. Sunday was just gorgeous. Rode my motorcycle around all over the place. I took 4 separate rides. In between each person's that came to visit me. I took 4 separate rides. Took a morning ride, late morning ride, early afternoon ride, and then an evening ride. I went and visited the varmint. The varmint. The child that is not mine. Visited those girls. Chatted with the girls. And she's getting older now. She's all like 15 or something. And she's mouthy. Kid's got a mouth, got opinions. It won't blindly comply with my orders. I remember in the olden days I could say, hey, you thing, almost a human, go do this. And there'd be a 50-50 chance that she'd do it. Now she doesn't even do no. She's got me figured out. She's like, why should I do that? It's you. The order's coming from you. I don't want to follow your orders. She's lecturing me about leaving the glass. I had a glass of fizzy water, and I just left the glass there. Why? Because in my house, I just leave the glass there. And inevitably, I'll get to the glass. Don't worry, the glass isn't going anywhere. The world's not going to end. And you thought that I killed her dog or something like that. She's like, what is this? I'm like, what? Why are you yelling? You're the child. Usually the parent yells at me. What's going on? What is your problem? She's holding the glass. I said, what's a glass? This isn't where it belongs. You just leave it here. This is a pigsty. Da, 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 da. Then I pull the old Clarey classic. Let me tell you guys the old Clarey classic. You boys can do this to your women, too. And women, if you're smart enough, if for whatever reason you have an anal retentive guy, so much to the point, he's like, wow, you kind of sound like a girl. You can pull this joke on him. What I do is I beckon the varmint over. I say, come on, look outside here. She's like, what? Just look outside. She's like, what? I said, and yet the world has not ended. The sun is still rising. That house over there is not on fire. The world is not being destroyed by meteorites. We are still here. The world somehow manages to go on despite me not taking my precious little glass and putting it wherever the hell it was supposed to. The dishwasher, the sink, I don't know. It's a great line. You gotta use, because women, it's typically women, but sometimes there's guys, but typically you'll do something at somebody's house and they'll be like, and they'll make it seem like you killed their firstborn. And then you got to look at them and you just, always go to the window. It's a good standby. You go to the window, say, look out here. And yet somehow the world still rotates. It manages to rotate still around, despite that glass not being put away where you thought it should be put away at the time you should have been put away at. Oh, and then it gives ultimate perspective to you girls, doesn't it? It's like, no, we don't have to do dishes today. We don't have to do it tomorrow. The yard doesn't have to be mowed. The oil doesn't have to be changed. No, we can let things go. We can leave an upturned shoe. We can leave a sock on the floor. We can leave the soap not in the soap dish. And somehow, humankind will still be able to manage to get itself up the next morning and continue on in this uphill battle we know as life. And I won the debate. Every time I've pulled that card, I've always won the debate because it puts things in the perfect context. But they don't think I won the debate. All they get is, you get a face. When you get the face, that meant you won the debate. Because they ain't got nothing to say. They're like, well, yeah. Or I get the eye roll. You know, the old eye roll. You're right, you're wrong, you bested me, but I'm going to give the eye roll because you're being immature, and that way I will somehow come off with a fake victory. It'll seem like I'm more mature and holier than thou and smarter than you are and more adult. The eye roll. Oh. He wants to do his taxes before April 15th. Oh. He wants to charge the batteries. Oh. He wants to do laundry and just get it done. Oh my gosh, Sorry, girls, why we make more than you. That's why we make more than 25% what you do. Because we're 25% more productive. We're okay with that little glass being upturned. We're okay with the shoe or the sock because we're about to build nuclear fusion down in our basement. That's what we're working on. We're about to discover electricity and make light bulbs. And so what if we have our tweezers or our hammer that's not put where you think it should be put at what time it should be put at? We're a little bit too busy focusing more important. I wonder if that's true. Do men really have do we have more of the linear logic that we're able to figure out quicker than women what's really more important at that point in time in life? Or life in general. Like, yes, I know the shoe is unturned. Yes, I know that's not where that hat belongs. That hat is on the floor, and that's not where that belongs. But, right now, I'm thinking about you and I scheduling our next trip to go ride around Lake Superior. That's what, and that hat can sit there. I'm looking at a hat right now, my St. Paul Saints hat. That hat has been sitting on the ground, for about 2 weeks. Certainly since we came back. Nothing bad has happened. Nothing. But we managed to put in a new butcher block, got a new island, got a new table. We knocked out a wall. And it was great because the girlfriend, she's like, I want a new thing. I want this. All right, cool. You pay for it. And she does because she's a real woman. That's a real independent woman there for you ladies. She actually paid for it. All right, you paid for it. And then her brother came in and, man, it really opened up the house. It's real nice. So we got this kind of butcher block island thing now. I convinced the lady to throw away 80% of our dishes that we never use. Because we never have that much company. She was all like, we might have company. I'm like, when is the last time we had company? And when we do have company, we're always grilling out back, using paper plates. So we got rid of this wall that also served as a cabinet for all the dishes. I'm like, dude, let's just get rid of this. I don't need the dishes. I only need one fork, one spoon, one bowl, one thing. And we're almost down to that. We have a couple coffee mugs, a couple martini mugs, or mugs, glasses, some wine glasses. We got a lot of coffee mugs because I like the coffee mugs. Some of them are almost artistic pieces. My favorite coffee mug comes from Wall Drug over in South Dakota. Beautiful looking mug. But yeah, I managed to get the girl to get rid of the stuff. I say, no, let's do that, but we're getting rid of all this. And she did. She packed up all this, like, we don't need this. It's gone. It's out. I was talking to my old man. I'm like, am I lucky? Like, do you guys? And he's like, yeah, I'm amazed that they'd be crying and this and that. I'm like, how do you guys let it happen? You know the default state of a female is tyrant. If you let her go, she will become a tyrant. And it's not like you got to launch a revolution against her to keep her from becoming a tyrant. You just say no. You just say, here's the rules, here's the law, there's the door. And it's amazing how quick they get their act together and figure it out. And I got these, oh my God, she let you do that? Yeah, she better motherfucking had let me done it, because it's my motherfucking house that I slaved and toiled and lived in basements forever so I could afford the down payment to live in this place. I paid the mortgage, I sweat and toil, I labor away. It's my fucking house. I don't care what the law says. I don't care what divorce court says. I don't care what common law says. This is my motherfucking house. Paid for with my motherfucking dollars. And the rules are, in my house, what the rules I want them to be are. And you guys, I don't know what it is. Why don't you say no? Don't you figure out by about 30 that complying and agreeing with women doesn't get you anywhere? That every once in a while you have to put them down. Not like a dog. I mean, like, you have to say no. You have to draw the line in the sand. You have to be willing to go to the mat. I'm doing X. And you're either going to support my decision of doing X, in which case you won't be around to support any other decisions I make because I'm kicking you out. This is my house. These are my rules. And in my house, the rules that will be followed, which are fair and just, and you may question them and ask about them, but while we're here in my house, these are the rules we're going to do. Now, of course, this assumes you are a wise man. You have your act together. You are making wise decisions, and then your decisions will actually help make a productive and successful household. And I know there are some women out there where, predominantly Wyoming, where the man is dumber than a bag of rocks. Boy's about as sharp as a pound of wet leather. And you may be, and it may be his, but then you let him go. Then he lives in some trailer trash filth. Place is catching on fire. No one wants to date him because it stinks. He doesn't clean. And then that's where the guy's making bad decisions. But it's still his house. Still, to this day, though, I mean, it's kind of fun. You guys think it's like, I got lucky. And no. Walter E. Williams, best quote he ever had is, men, let me show you how to train your wives. Wives need training. Not a lot, but enough. And all it starts is with that word no. And then you back it up with, and there's the door if you don't like it. You just tell them no. We're going to do this. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to come with. We're going to do that. I'm going to put this in my house. I'm going to do that to this car, and we're going to get this type of car. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You can now go back off on your own life and live your own life. But while all matters financial that affect me are going to be determined in a very frugal and efficient and conservative manner. And she got it. She came around. This is awesome. It's great. She had this BMW, my God, this piece of shit German car. Never get a German car. Never get a German car. Never, ever, ever, ever. They have weird tools. They're not even on the metric system. They're on some weird alien type of system. You need specific tools to fix this specific thing. The tools cost more than the parts. I mean, seriously, like, just, it was almost like $600 a month. Something goes wrong. After a Beamer or a Mercedes hits 5 years, it goes to pot. It starts falling apart. They engineer it that way. And they charge you an arm and a leg. I think it was like the fourth time something wrong, like a light went out. And seriously, if a light goes out, it's $100 fix because you got to remove the engine and the transmission to get to the light, because that's how German engineers are just, yeah, they was about as over-engineered as a Tiger tank. I think the fourth or fifth time, she's like, well, can you take it to the dealer? I'm like, no, I'm not taking it to the dealer. You're selling this piece of shit. It's out of my house. I don't want to deal with it anymore. It was cute when we had to go and, like, you know, change the cup holders, and that cost $1,200 for you, and I had to sit and wait 16 hours for them to do it. But nope, done. This car is gone. If it needs fixing, you're going to fix it. So, yes, I don't know, guys. You just hold firm, lay down the law, and it's amazing how quickly women come in line. I mean, what's going to cost you? Your life? A tyrant? Oh. Because I've seen it, man. These gals run over these guys. If you let these girls go, it's weird. Like, even today, I was down in the WBL, went and got my coffee. And I'm walking downtown. There's, like, little trinket stores and shit downtown. And a lot of clothing stores as well. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, I'm walking up, and here's these fat sows looking at the clearance rack. And I'm looking at it on multiple levels. Like, okay, one, that canvas is so hideously ugly and fat, no matter what you paint on it, it's still going to be ugly. So why are you even interested in fashion? And then two, why are you women? These were not young women. These are older, you presume, wiser women, 60 years old. Why are you looking at clothes still? What is it with the trinkets in the stores and the stuff? What is that really what drives you at the age of 60? You're an almost dead woman. And I understand, like, oh, this is a cute dress, maybe I'll get that or something like that. But when you say, okay, what do you do with your free time? And women answer shopping. It's like not spending time with the grandkids, not spending time with your husband, not going out fishing, not going out hiking, not going out running, a million other things. No, like moths to a flame, they gravitate towards shit, towards stuff, towards crap, typically clothing. Oh, well, it's 80% off. See, it's on the clearance rack. See, so now it's almost like you're making money, you see? It's 80%. See, it was a $120 dress. Now it's just a $100 dress. And now, see, it's like almost making $100. That's the line of logic they give you. But I just kind of look at them, I'm like, you know what? Why are there stores? Why are there clothing stores? Like boutique clothes. I understand why there's Walmart or Target. I even understand why maybe there's a little bit of a higher end one. But why are there so many goddamn women's clothing stores? Why do you women love clothes so much? What is the deal? I don't mean that in a gimmicky kind of stand-up comic. Hey, if he knows the difference, but what's the deal with the women with the clothes? But I really want to know, what's the psychological draw? I saw women who were twice my age, almost twice my age, gravitating towards a clothes rack. Every time I go downtown, these women are looking at freaking clothes like, is that what life is? Is that what society has taught you and trained you to become and put value on? Not your husband, not your children, not your grandchildren, not your friends. No. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. Do women, like, when they're on their deathbed, do they regret, oh gosh, I pissed away all that time shopping when I could have spent time with little Jimmy? And then you buy and then you throw it away the next year. Oh, that's out of fashion. I'm waiting for the maxi dresses. Are the maxi dresses going to have another comeback this year? Or are you girls done with the third year that this has been like a conformist thing? And that's where they go, guys. That's where their minds go. They go towards shit and baubles and shiny things. Not all. But most of them. Rich or poor, fat or skinny, black or white, they all go to the shiny baubles. Ooh, sparkly. More ways to piss away money on shit I don't need. And then and if that's what their state is to gather more shit, you're just merely a tool. I hate to sound so MGTOW. I do. But inevitably, guys, say no. I'm going to go buy, what's this shit? Why is that? Not to sound like Fred Flintstone either, but you got to be Fred Flintstone. You got to get in Wilma's face. Could you imagine if Fred Flintstone was a laid-back, relaxed dude and let Wilma run all over him? Now, Wilma also kind of kept herself in check, all right? But if Fred wasn't like standing up, Wilma, we're not going to do that. At least he put up a fight. He was the man of his house. He was the king of his domain. But if you don't stand up to them, guys, they will run over you, all for precious little shiny baubles and trinkets. And scarves and clothes. A dress. Oh, it's so pretty. 2 weeks later, I don't like it. It's out of fashion. So this is the Clarey podcast. Hello, we're going to do sponsors here. Get this out of the way real quick. I have my GoFundMe campaign. That is, you can find that. Just search Ghostbusters GoFundMe campaign. Maybe I should advertise it a little bit more, put it on the website. But basically, I'm trying to raise $1 million so I go see the new Ghostbusters movie. I think I already got $150. Imagine that, $150. I'm going to go $150 minimum. I'm going to go and see the Ghostbusters movie. If you would like to donate money to that pointless, stupid cause, all proceeds will go, however, thankfully, to my favorite charity, me. And, yeah, I think you like that. I think you like what I'm going to do with the money. I think I'll pay off a house, buy another house in Nevada, or the Black Hills of South Dakota. Oh, geez, that nap. Still tired. You can also advertise on this podcast or the online Clarey Media Empire. Let me know. It's $100 a month. I plug you in all the different things. So the podcast, the YouTubes, the blog, all that other good stuff. Chad Elkins, you could go to elkincpa.com. He's got a new website. Finally got it all set up. So Chad Elkins, for those of you looking for an accountant to do your accounting or do your taxes or give you some kind of financial advice, go visit our pal Chad Elkins at elkincpa.com. We have our podcast archive. If you want to drop $35 on me, I will go ahead and put together a key fob. Not a key fob. What is it? Thumb drive. I have all the old podcasts. They've been archived episodes 1 through 100. You're paying me for my time and the material cost of the thumb drive and shipping and handling. And so if you want that, I will go ahead and mail those out. Then we have the League of Extraordinary Podcasters. You go 405media.com, Silvio Canto, Jason Hartman, freedomainradio.com, The Beckloff, you can find them on YouTube, Black Brigade at blackbrigade.org, financialsurvivalnetwork.com, Tom Likas at blowmeuptom.com, Crush the Street over on YouTube, and also Engineer Truth also on YouTube. Oh, I got to add Pushing Rubber Uphill. Pushing Rubber Uphill. Oh, it's already got the Rubber Uphill. Okay, good. Adam Piggott has a new podcast out, as well as a blog. So he's got his book, he's got the podcast, he's got the blog. He's doing everything. Actually, I should probably go download a couple episodes. Go for my walk here today over in the park. Been going out to a park more recently. It's nice, it's quiet. No, I'm so far removed from the city, but we blow so much money on crap the taxpayers don't want and don't need. So we got these really nicely groomed parks up north here. And I just kind of like walk around. I was like, it's my park. Just like mine. All mine. Undertowaudio.com. Go and visit undertowaudio.com. He will go ahead and do all your recording. Glorious Hat. Get yourself Glorious Carl's Glorious Hat at glorioushat.com. Asshole Consulting. Go to assholeconsulting.com if you need some kind of advice, wisdom, or swift kick in the ass. And trust you me, it's definitely worth it for you to drop your money on me, and I'll point you in the right direction. Also, if you know some people that are going down the wrong path, have them contact me at assholeconsulting.com. You can also buy my stuff, not my stuff, but you can buy your stuff online, make all your online purchases through my Amazon affiliate program. You can go to captaincapitalism.blogspot.com, click on the Amazon affiliate banner. You're going to have to do it in Explorer or Chrome. I think Mozilla Firefox, the Amazon, has an automatic ad blocker. So if you would be so kind, turn that off or just use a different browser. Go to my site, captaincapitalism.blogspot.com. Do all your online shopping through my Amazon affiliate. That way I get 6 to 7%, and then we're all very, very, very happy people after that. Do the Philippines by Matt Forney, his latest book. You can go to mattforney.com, see all the different books he has there. And then my two classes, the analysis, evaluation of stocks, and the other class, stocks, bonds, investing, oh my. Just search those on the internet. They're offered at hundreds of different outlets and locations. And you become very wise, very intelligent when it comes to personal financial management and valuing and analyzing stocks.
Now listen, man, I like the news. You guys like the news?
Well, we can't really call it news because this is just so common now. From the National Review, professor took students on an eco-sexual sextravaganza trip to marry and have sex with the ocean. And they show some pictures here of one reasonably cute girl, and almost pretty homely looking. They have roses. A trip was co-led by pornographic actress slash author slash sex educator Annie Sprinkle. Let's look up Annie Sprinkle, shall we? Annie Sprinkle. Because I looked this one up before. And I looked up the professor that led this. And the professor is your typical, oh God, she's fat and old. She received a BFA in photography from the Visual School of Arts in 1986. And a doctorate in human sexuality. Look at this, ladies. You can, oh, she married a woman. Isn't that precious? And I'm even pro-gay marriage. I'm just looking at this gal's... Look, ladies, look up Annie Sprinkle and see if you want to become this person. Okay? This is where liberal arts degrees lead. Not all of them, but, not much more. At least they had sex. At least there's a couple orgasms with this girl's life. A professor at Santa Monica College took a group of students on an eco-sexual extravaganza trip earlier this month, during which they married the ocean and were encouraged to consummate that marriage. Why? Well, as one of its organizers, a professor named Amber Catherine, I've looked her up, told Campus Reform was to get students to love the environment more through exocentric passion and even lust. Oh, right. Duh. The leaders of the trip were UC Santa Cruz professor Elizabeth Steffen and pornographic actress, writer, slash sex educator Annie Sprinkle, who can't find a job because she's so fat. All right, let's look up. I looked up the Amber Catherine gal, and I'm just going to be short and brief with this one because how can we put it? For those of you who are saying, and I mean this literally, this is not me to besmirch those who are leftists and swallow whole this leftist academic bullshit. For those of us with our heads out of our ass who are clearly grounded and are not dumb, this is almost a weekly, daily story now where crazy shit, you're starting to see what government money does to unchained and unleashed baby boomer wannabe losers. So I looked up Amber Catherine. She's some fucking psychology doctorate fucking worthless hack over at this college. And I thought, okay, Amber Catherine, these are they're not spoof articles. It's not clickbait because this is actually happening. But then I say, well, how effective? How influential? Don't most kids pat this person on the head? It's yo, old Catherine, Professor Catherine, crazy woman. Well, you look her up, you find, okay, yeah, typical old, ugly, feminist type, ain't gonna do anything mentionable in this world. She got Professor of the Year in 2011. Which to me that's the real story here with this one. This is just typical stupid people doing stupid shit with given unlimited, unregulated government money. This is nothing new. But to show you how thorough, I guess is the word I'm looking for, or how deep, how far down the rabbit hole goes, whatever, how established this is, this fraud, this hack, this genuinely not worthless, negative net value human being got Professor of the Year in 2011. So as far as I'm concerned, I kind of already knew this. The whole system is corrupt. Why would you send your kids? See, and that's another concept. I don't understand this. Well, I send my kids to whatever college. Isn't your kid 18 now? Do kids ever send themselves to college? Or is it just an assumption that kids are genuine kids, little children, until they're 22? Oh, all right, it's not that you paid enough in property tax to send your kids to the public schools. Or that they're 18 and now technically adults. No, you keep paying for these children, which makes them children, so that you don't ever... It's like college just... I remember in the 90s, when you turned 18... At least for the majority of us, that was it. You're an adult, you were on your own. Now, some of the lucky kids had their parents pay for college. And we despised them. We just yeah, you're not a real adult. And you weren't. You weren't a real adult if your parents are paying for it. Now it's like an expectation. Now it's just oh yeah, well, we just pay our... And then what I run into in asshole consulting, which is going to be one of the founding premises of my upcoming book, is how your parents, when they pay for you, they still own you. They still control you. If they pay for your food, clothing, rent, shelter, car insurance, everything else, they own you. And they will tell you what to study. And I've had a lot of people, a lot of clients come up and say, look, I'm realizing this college is bullshit. So these are actual real adult, wise, young men and women who have the foresight to look, hey, whoa, this is a bad degree. I should not even be in college until I figure out what I want to do. And then the common complaint they have is they say, my parents are going to kick me out of the house. They're going to cut funding. Look, as disagreeable as I find that with your parents, they have that right. You're not an independent adult. You are parasiting off of your parents. I don't give a shit if you have pubes around your vag or your schlong. You're not an adult. If you live off of your parents, they have every right to tell you what to do because they're paying for you. You're basically their slave by that point. I guarantee you, if I was ever a father and I had a kid, and my kid was 19 years old, and I was paying for his food, clothing, and shelter, whatever, he's like, oh, I don't want it. And if I disagree with him, I'm like, screw you, kid. Funding's cut off. So let's all man the fuck up. Woman the fuck up. I know it's sad because this is on my team. That's what I like look at it. Okay, we're all on the same team here. We all want to achieve excellence and accomplishment. We are going to do and we're going to live our lives the best we can. But then I see you guys on my side. I understand you've been brought up this way. Your parents, and if your parents are going to offer it, sure, take it. Fine. Take the money and fucking run. But then when you don't do what they tell you or you want to change the plan and they're so archaic and outdated and stubborn in their baby boomer ways that they're going to cut funding, even though you made a wise decision, that's the drawback of being a dependent. That's the drawback of not being an independent person. That's the drawback of not being a true man or woman. You are a child still. You rely on them. So I still, but at this point now, I see this, you, me, everybody else here, we know, okay, college is bullshit. It's a landmine. Let's not major in stupid shit. I think we're all on that same page. But for those of us who are not on our team, not on this side, you gotta sit there with your jaw dropping, whether you're a parent or a student, and say, who the fuck sends their kids to these schools? Well, I send my schools to Santa Monica, University of California, Santa Monica. Why would you send them there? Seriously, this is like as damaging as Mizzou. It should be, but this is so common. You're getting bum rushed. You don't know. I mean, it's not unique anymore. But the whole idea, like, I'm sending my child to... How about you parents stop sending your children to these colleges? Why don't you go to Hillsdale? Why don't you go to a reputable school, University of Chicago? Why don't you just not send your kids to these schools? Why don't you just send them to a community college? Send them to trade school, something. Why would you go to UC Santa Cruz? So, I mean, seriously, let's do another experience. Let's look up Elizabeth Steffens. Elizabeth Steffens. I always do the Bing because I like Bing more. No, that's... Could have swore I copied that. Elizabeth Steffens. Oh, Jesus. Is this... ElizabethSteffens.org. Oh, God. I don't know. There's, like, obviously more than one Elizabeth Steffens. All right, let's see if this is the gal. Let's see if this is the website. UCSC, yeah, University of Santa Cruz, here it is. You are not authorized to access this page. Guys, if you look at her, it's exactly what you expect. An ugly, hideous woman. And look, I'm sorry, I'm not against gays, I'm not against lesbians, I'm not against ugly people. It's just amazing how ugly people always congregate around leftist socialist causes and government money. Isn't it kind of the irony, like the nerds, like the guys who are nerds were ugly, we're short, we're skinny, and nobody likes us, and then we do something amazingly impressive with our lives, like create electricity or develop nuclear power. It just seems like there's a draw for women, I guess, that are ugly and hideous. It's like, well, I'm not going to work out, I'm not going to lose weight. She could actually be a good-looking gal if she wanted to. Yeah, go to her site, ElizabethSteffens.org. Performance, sculpture and installation, photography, film, media, practice as research. You can't make it up. Sex ecology, where art meets theory, meets practice, meets activism. Really? When do you just admit that you're a lazy fuck and you never wanted to work a real job in your life? These are the people. Look it up, guys. What few parents actually have their heads out of their asses to go and listen to this podcast, could you please just go look up Amber Catherine and Elizabeth Steffens? Elizabeth Steffens at least has the balls to stand out and like put herself up there on the internet with her own website. She's not hiding behind academia. She's obviously proud of what she does. And you know what? God bless her. Go ahead and do it. But this is not something your children should be spending their money on, let alone you spending your money on your children to be spending your money on. These people are frauds. Don't you get it? Why is this an article? Why do these things still exist? I know, we got to create a massive affirmative action program to employ the unemployables and the worthless people and the talentless people in our lives, especially if they're precious little white women that want to have ego satisfaction. They have to go and become doctorates. I guess it's really not the precious little white suburbanite snowflakes. I guess it is the fact that you go and you spend 8 years of your youth majoring in stupid shit, getting a doctorate in some bullshit studies, and like you just on the principle of it all, you should get something, right? You should get a consolation prize. You studied bullshit for 8 years. You spent all this money. I should get some kind of professorship, right? But in the end, come on, Elizabeth Steffens, I'd love to have you on. I'd love to have Amber Catherine on. I'd love you to tell me with a straight face that you would recommend the path of life and the education and the career that you guys took to younger people. Like, really? Does it get sick and tiring of like constantly begging for grant money? Do you really believe in this? Like that you're actually helping out society, teaching classes on exocentric passion and even love for the environment? Come on. Do you even believe this bullshit? Let's continue on. The leaders were on a trip for UC Santa Cruz with Steffens, both of whom are the effective leaders of the ecosexual movement. Oh, even the Democrats, you union guys who tune in, even though you hate to admit it. Are you happy? This is your team. Don't say this is Republican. Don't say it's conservative. Please don't say it's corporations. This is your fucking ball of wax, okay? I'd like to see the manly leaders of the left, typically, the pipe fitters and the real men who are tradesmen who work unions and actually produce something of value. The few producers on the Democrat Party. When are you going to go and kick these fucking worthless cunts out of your system? You don't have to kick them out. Are you just going to admit they're parasites and they're worthless? Huh? You're down there in the coal mines and these gals get to go have the ecosexual extravaganza tour trip where they fuck the ocean. According to a write-up on the event in the school student newspaper, The Corsair. Oh, there's some genuine journalists there, I'm sure. Yeah, that's right, the ecosexual movement. This is an actual movement and not wanting to be behind the fray. SMC has its own ecosexual club. Its president, Diego Martinez. Shall we look him up? Let's look up Diego Martinez. Jeez, Clarey, why does this keep... I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why my computer's doing this. Diego Martinez. Oh, we actually got a footballer here. Several Diego Martinez, obviously. There's some legitimate ones. Let's do California. Well, that's not going to narrow it down. UC... where's he at? Santa Monica? SMC. Santa Monica College. Let's do that. Santa Monica College. And we are going to pick on you guys. Okay. He's a graduate. Oh, that's Monica Martinez. Diego Martinez. He could be such a no-name. And I readily admit that this is not like... Well, now that I think about it... if that gal won Teacher of the Year, Santa Monica College, Wikipedia, there is no Diego Martinez. Santa Monica College, not looking like it's getting a lot of great Santa Monica College has got worse over the years. The financial aid department is completely incompetent. I had a name change, was immediately lost from the system, thereby excluding me. I moved to Santa Monica last June and have been SMC classes ever since. At first I was really excited about going to school, blah, blah, blah. Beautiful campus, but counselors don't care about the students and make you take unnecessary courses. No! Really? What's Elizabeth Stevens and Amber Catherine going to do if you guys don't take worthless classes? All right, I can't find Diego Martinez. It was actually our second marriage. Oh my God, really? Hang on. Its president, Diego Martinez, told the Corsair that this was actually his second marriage to the ocean. How manly do you think this guy is, ladies? Huh? Don't all line up for him now. It was actually our second marriage, so it was kind of like renewing my vows for me, Marquez said. Was it Diego Martinez or Diego Marquez? Let's try this again. Diego Marquez. Let's try that. Santa. Diego Marquez College. Diego Marquez. Okay, this guy just ain't showing up. The students were specifically instructed to think of this marriage as one involving sex and to encourage to consummate the marriage and make love to the water by sticking parts of their bodies into it, according to campus reform. According to the Corsair, the attendees were handed plastic rings and gave their own personal vows to the sea before Sprinkle stated, "With this ring I wed thee and bestow upon the sea the treasures of my minds, hearts, and hands." Stephens added, "as well as our body and soul." And Sprinkle concluded, "And with that I now pronounce you one with the sea," officially making all participants married to the sea, apparently. Do you understand how this is religion? Is this any different? Come on, stand back and look at this. There's ceremonies. There's exchanging of plastic rings. There's vows. I love it how the left, especially the environmental left, claims that they're anti-religious, they hate Christianity, blah, blah, blah. Religion is for foolish people. Atheism is the way to go. And then they turn around. Look, you guys know I ain't no big fan of Christianity or religion in general. I think it's all bullshit. But at least I will admit, this is why I'm agnostic, there might be a God. That would explain a lot of things. I'm not saying there is or isn't one. I am at least open to the idea and concept that there might be one. But this worshiping the sea, worshiping something that we truly know not to have any sentience, not to have a soul, not to have an intellect. I mean, and I'll read on. This person's hugging trees. At least one of the attendees seemed to suggest that the ocean is not the only part of nature that she thinks about through the lens of a romantic relationship. Back when I would hug trees in Santa Cruz, I would sort of ask the tree if it was okay if I hugged it, and I would feel their spirit or energy or something give me a response back and then proceed accordingly. According a UCSC alumna who identified herself only as Serenity. Oh, how cute. Consent is definitely important, she continued. The consent of a tree. Not only is it religious, but do you see these people are psycho? I'm not joking. Do you really see? Remember the gal that had the can of SpaghettiOs? You guys don't remember this because I got to put together this video. She was talking about rape and something or else, and she was doing like a poetry reading, and all these dipshit millennials were watching her, and I think she had cut her pants off with a knife and then poured the SpaghettiOs down her swimsuit area to make some semblance of what's it called? The monthly thing, menstruation. You have Trigglypuff. Do you really think these people are sane? Look, point out the equivalent on the conservative side. Point it out on the Republican side where we have genuine psychos. Are there any people in the Democrat Party or people on the left who are going to admit that you got like some psychological problems, that you have some really mentally damaged people? And these are not exactly psychos that you write off. You know, like here over on the right side, we kind of dismiss the Ku Klux Klan. We kind of write off Stormfront. All right, we're not when we get the crazies and they go on a shooting rampage, we disavow them. You guys make them fucking professors and pay them $100,000 a year. You have them indoctrinate and teach your children. Don't tell me that we're insane or we got issues or problems. You guys have huge issues and problems there over on the left. And for any old Democrat like my grandpa used to be, old school JFK Democrat who just, they were for the common man, for the poor man. They think the old man needed a leg up. For any one of you, you might want to take inventory of what's going on in your little political world there. And who's on your team. Because every once in a while I check my team. I say, yeah, I want these guys out. That's why I made those videos against the virgin towels. Because it's like, no, you guys hate women. You're genuine misogynists. You're also losers on top of it. I don't want you on my team. You guys aren't hard workers. You guys are lazy. You guys are bums. You blame your problems on other people's problems. You're just basically feminists with penises, except you hate women. That's all. Switch it all around. That's all it is. At least it called it out. At least it drew the line. You guys don't... seriously, you pipe fitters, you locomotive workers, you guys diesel fit, you guys have got to be so fucking pissed. When are you going to join our side, huh? At least we want to bring jobs back to the United States. Oh, I know you may hate the corporations, but who do you hate more? These broads fucking the ocean and getting married to it? Not changing the last names and hyphenating it? Or would you rather join the Republican side, huh? Which do you want? Oh, now it's important to note that Serenity herself did not marry the ocean, but that's not because she doesn't love it. As the Corsair describes it, she simply had the feeling that her relationship with the ocean was strong enough without the label. That's probably a good move after all. She'd probably rather keep things polyamorous and open so she could still have relationships with all those trees she loves. They're doing a little bit of tongue-in-cheek here on the National Review, which is good. It's good to see you, National Review. Your balls have dropped, and maybe you're taking a couple pox shots. Maybe you're throwing it back a bit. It's nice to see. Did you guys get rid of George Will? Did we grow a pair? Well, only the ones that give her consent first, of course. A group of just fewer than 30 people attended the event, according to the Corsair, and about a dozen or so of them chose to marry the sea. You poor boys, like I said, I know this is not representative of all millennial girls. I'd like to thank our San Franciscan agent in the field, Phil, for sending this. I know you young boys. I know you young millennial girls. You're not all like this. I understand that. But there's enough of you out there. Boys, you got to watch out. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you. I apologize. I wasn't in charge of this generation being raised. I don't have children. But if you think there's something wrong with you, there isn't. These girls are fucked in the head. And if that makes the stable, sane ones that maybe you would find at Hillsdale College, shit, shouldn't we just all maybe go to Hillsdale College to find stable, sane women? Although are they probably the uber religious type? There were a couple colleges, well, there still are a couple colleges in my 20s and my 30s. I stupidly dated these girls because they would come to dance classes, and it was a sin for them. There was Bethel, there's Crown, is Concordia the third one? Where, girls were not allowed to dance, you're not supposed to dance, and you'd have the spring surprise, and you're all supposed to, go marry and breed more Christians. That was kind of the... But then, obviously, because these girls were brought up under pretty much dictatorial, uber-Christian environments, they'd revolt, and then they'd go ballroom dancing. Or salsa dancing. And, where was I going with this? It was so much that then they ended up revolting, and that's why I'm kind of fearing that Hillsdale would be like, are you going to have nothing but a bunch of psycho Christian girls over at Hillsdale? They're like, I'm not going to have sex. Well, unless you're an illegal alien, then I'll have sex because it's naughty and dirty. I want to fight my dad. But then no. Good Americans, good Native Americans can't do it. No. We have to wait for Jesus. That did happen on more than one occasion. I dated a couple of them. No sex. Oh, no, I can't even kiss. That was another one. I can't kiss you because you're not Christian. You have your bra off. You only have your little thong on. What the fuck? Why do you have a thong if you're like this? So, boys, it's good to see nothing has changed. They're all still crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. If you think there's something wrong with you, just do an honest assessment and say, wait, why is she in my bed with only her thong on, but we're not allowed to kiss. Then there should be logic comes in. That's where logic comes in. You're like, huh, you know what? I think she's psycho. And then you kick her out. And you spare yourself the pain and the agony that the old captain endured. So, anyway, I want to thank Phil, our agent in the field, very much for that. I'm going to delete that. Oh, what else we got? Oh, hey, let me bang out the rest of the sponsors, and I'm going to go on to my other thing. Pushing Rubber Downhill, the podcast, the blog, and the book. Our good friend Adam Piggott, an Aussie. Please go and check out his book and his podcast. He started a podcast. He's like, I didn't know. He uploaded WAV files or WMV files. No, WAV files. And I said, dude, you got to convert them to MP3, otherwise it's going to take forever to download your files. And it's pretty good. He's only got like four episodes out, but he's starting. So let him find his voice. But if you want to go visit his blog, which is very good, but also read his book, which you can find on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook, read by our good friend Davis Arini, and go there. But he also has this podcast that's coming out. Just understand it's in growing pains right now. There's Welcome to the Divide by SP Daily, and he gave me, I got it right here. SP Daily, he's got a book called Welcome to the Divide, but then he also came out with a new one called Caustic, and I haven't read it yet. What is it? Is it Raising Ground? I have to read through this one. And I cannot recommend Welcome to the Divide enough for those who have an IQ above like 200,000. That book is such a mind fuck. It's great. I would recommend it to anybody who really wants a mental challenge. You have to get through the first couple of chapters because he's writing from the third person, and there's a reason he does it. So at first you're going to be like, why is he talking like Bob Dole? There's a reason for that, and it's brilliant. So if you really want to have a mental exercise, please look up Welcome to the Divide by SP Daily. Obviously, you can find that on Amazon as well. Daniel Ellman's 1,202 well-sourced examples of Obama's law-breaking, corruption, etc. The simplest way is just to go to my blog, Captain Capitalism, and click on the link there to find that. And then we have my books, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, Bachelor Pad Economics, Worthless, because last month was Worthless Degree Awareness Month, but we can plug it a little bit more. Enjoy the Decline, Behind the Housing Crash, Captain Capitalism Top Shelf, Captain Capitalism Reserved. I'll be coming. Oh, then there's Curse of the High IQ. Why isn't this on here? Let's type that in. Curse of the High IQ. I cannot emphasize the Curse of the High IQ enough. If you are a young man or woman and you think there's something wrong with you because you are unable to find friends or you can't attract the opposite sex, it could be that you're a jerk and you're also ugly as sin. But aside from that, there's also the chance you may just be freakishly intelligent. And it is amazing how much this book, I wish I had it, but I've gotten like emails and thanks for it, but it really does explain things, guys. And I'm not trying to give you an excuse where it's like, if you're a jerk, you're acting like you have Asperger's, you all have autism, like all you millennials claim, I got autism, I got ADHD, and all this other bullshit that the amazing fag, atheist, claims to have, when basically you're just lazy and you don't want to put the effort into becoming an interesting person. All right, that book's not going to help you. But you could actually have a genuinely high IQ. And it can be a curse, it can be a drawback. And so please read that book. Please get your IQ tested. I'd say it's almost more important than getting tested for STDs. Because it's just so much easier. If you figure out that, oh my gosh, I have this freakishly high IQ, it's going to explain a lot more. So please buy that book, read it, get your IQ tested. Even if you have to go online, the tests aren't that great, but at least it'll put you in the ballpark. You'll find out like, oh God, I'm crazy intelligent. Or you might find out you're an idiot. And it's like, oh yeah, I am an idiot. That's why people don't want to hang out with me. But at least you know. At least you know. And we here at Cappy Cap are all about honesty. Behind the Housing Crash, I already talked about that. All my books, you can find them on Amazon. All are available in paperback and Kindle. Worthless and Bachelor Pad Economics are available in audiobook. So I know a lot of you guys out there want to hear Bachelor Pad Economics because you don't like reading. I'm totally with you on that. But that is also available on audiobook, so now you don't have to read. You can just listen. Day by Day Cartoon by Chris Muir. And then Silvio Canto's book, Cubanos in Wisconsin. Davis Arini's book, As I Walk These Broken Roads. Marty's and Dritey's book, Nixon's Guide to the Multiverse. All of those available in paperback and Kindle. If you're looking for some fun reading this summer, I recommend getting those books. Silvio Canto's book, Cubanos in Wisconsin, is a little bit, it's not fun. I mean, it's a historical, recount of how he escaped Cuba as a 10-year-old child. So, great book for you to give your millennial college students that you idiot parents just blindly pay for to get indoctrinated with more leftist gobbledygook. Yeah, that's good. I don't think we have any fan mail. I think there's no fan mail today. Bernard Chapin sent a letter. If you want, go check out Bernard Chapin's podcast. Yeah, I think that's it. No fan mail. Look at that. We're doing good. I did want to tell you guys this. I'm going to be starting another little business. I'm telling you this because I'm looking for pastors and priests. You're like, huh? Here's the deal. I have bought the domain rights and names to Podcast Pastor and podcastpriest.org, com, and net. And even though I myself am not religious, I have a love-hate relationship with pretty much all religions because I understand the higher intellectual value, the higher philosophical value in having a genuine religion. I understand why you guys choose to believe. You have faith. I also know that having religion lays down some laws and some morality that some people need. So I'm aware of the pros of religion, but at the same time, having lived through it myself, I absolutely loathe and despise it. Now, all that being said, I am an opportunist and a capitalist and an amoral one at that, and I bought these domain names. And I do know that especially here in the red pill world, the manosphere, the neo-masculinity, a lot of you young boys and ladies, you want the old school fire and brimstone type religion. You want religion in your life. But gosh almighty, I don't know what it is with religious people. If they're slow, if they just are anti-technology, if they think, I don't know why this hasn't happened because I've had this idea for a while. And like many ideas I've had for a while, maybe I ought to pull the trigger. But I don't know why Podcast Pastor wasn't a thing. I just don't know why. So what I'm looking for is some legitimate, ordained priests and pastors that want to put together a weekly sermon. I'm going to upload it on the website. I'm going to program the website. Obviously, I have to have priests and pastors and men of the cloth ready to do that. I might do podcast imam or podcast rabbi. But I think the vast majority, obviously, of our listenership is Christian, those who are religious. And those of you who may be agnostic or secular, but you want to gain some insights of spirituality. So I think there was especially with the feminism invading the mainstream churches, I want to get some old school red pill pastors. I was even thinking about going and finding some retired pastors who are just bitter old angry men, which would be exactly the type that I want. They want to teach fire and brimstone and are willing to put together weekly podcasts. The profits will be split a third for me to provide this platform, and this hopefully will alleviate any kind of conflicts of interest. Like, well, you're secular, you can. And it's like, yeah, I know, you're merely just giving me my cut to provide you this platform. You would get compensated, and then your church that you preach at, or whatever charity or donation you would like, another third would go there. I'm in complete command, though. Don't make this fucking complicated. If you're interested, please contact me. But yeah, I'm thinking I want to get on the tithing business. I won't lie to you. The evil old captain, he's got the old capitalist here. I was thinking okay, tithing 10%, global GDP, 75 trillion. 7.5 trillion would be tithing in a perfect Christian world, which never happens. And if I get a third of that, that's $2 trillion a year. Right there, practically guaranteed. People should lend me money against it, like Elon Musk. No, he just gets taxpayer money. I'm kidding. No, but I think this can sprout legs. I think it could be a win-win-win situation for anybody. So if any of you know, I hate to say young, but the only reason I would say young is because they're not afraid of technology. But if any of you know a really good pastor, and that's the thing, I don't want to just hire a pastor to fire them later because they do crap podcasts or to do crap sermons, all right? I don't want some kid fresh out of the academy or divinity school or the seminary and you haven't I want to find an old, grumpy, pissed off, war veteran type, fire and brimstone type of pastor. So if any of you know that, please have them contact me or send me their email or send me a link to their websites. I know a lot of these pastors are doing the podcast like at their particular church. I want this to expand so that, like let's say you're the old grandma lady and you're in the nursing home and you can't get to church because, well, you're in the nursing home. Or you're an Iraqi vet, you're out there in Afghanistan or something. The rabbi's too far away, and you want to listen to a sermon. We're gonna have ideally. I'm not gonna launch it until I can get regular sermons, but we'll have sermons. I might do different things. That's why I got podcast pastor and podcast priest. I think we might categorize them based on different denominations. But as it is going to be right now, pretty much be Protestant or Catholic, and we're going to be pretty non-denominational at that point in time. But like I said, I'm looking for talent. So if anybody knows talent out there that can commit, and I even though I don't believe in it, actually, is honest. I don't want no fucking Joel Osteens. I don't want no fucking frauds. Okay, I want legitimate, honest Friar Tuck type of pastors and priests. So if any of you guys know that out there, and you think they'd be open to it, the real issue, though, is that's why I know it's going to happen. I go, well, you're not religious, and this is a private, for-profit entrepreneur. Yes, it is. It is. Welcome to technology. Welcome to advancement. It's amazing how capitalism works and runs circles around the nonprofit sector. We got movement, we got hustle. So you pay me my cut, I'm out. Then hopefully, maybe this might work. And then you guys would have the podcast pastor. You guys could tune in every Sunday, get your weekly dose of sermon. That's going to be another thing I'd imagine, like, as I got older, I'm not necessarily against going to sermon. Like, when I was younger, I hated the sermon. Not that I really liked any aspect of church either, but, like, the singing and the up and down and the jumping around. Okay, that was, and then the guy would start the sermon, and he just like, now as an adult, as older, it's like, I wouldn't mind hearing a sermon. Because let's admit it, the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, any old book, I mean, it's not like there's not wisdom there that could not be applied to those who aren't religious. Not like there isn't, thousands of years worth of wisdom and tidbits of guidance and advice that would help out anybody. So I'm not necessarily against even listening to a sermon, but as I know, as I got older, like if I was going to go to church, like I just want to go to the sermon, see what he's got. And then I find out all of the sermons suck. They suck. Went a couple times to the church with my girlfriend. One time I was like driving through this horrible storm in South Dakota, and it was so bad, worst storm I've ever driven through. I said, like, if I get through this, dear, I'll go to church with you. And it was that, and I got through it. I'm like, okay, I'll go to church. And God could have given me the olive branch at that time, but no, what I had to stand next to was this guy who had his hands up, and he was like doing the hand-arm shaking thing. He was like Spasto Boy, because like you have to put your hands up to receive the Spirit of God. And he was shaking like he was like had cerebral palsy or something. And I'm just like looking at him like, yeah, I'm not doing this. No. And then the sermon on top of it was shit too. Just a crappy, so I can't even remember it. I'm like, come on, this is a bigger church in Minneapolis. He had at least 500-600 people in there. I'm like, you got all these people dedicating their time to have you come in here and listen. And that was the other thing. He was a PowerPoint presentation pastor. He had filmed it before, and they just threw him up on the LCD projector screen. It wasn't an actual, he wasn't there. He's at some other place. I understand if you're that good that, you got to be in multiple places, so you record it once and you have it up. But I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of like cheating you out of it, don't you think? An actual human pastor isn't there? We're getting screwed. It wasn't even that good of a sermon. I was just like looking at this screenshot of this guy giving a thing. I'm looking around like everybody. I'm like, you're believing this? What? Don't you find like you're getting cheated a little bit? Of course, I'm not even giving you video. I'm just giving you audio. But I'm not going to make you show up at this. That's the whole other thing. I don't understand why churches are even a thing anymore. The internet should have made churches obsolete. The physical brick and mortar, it's just message. It's just data. Which is the whole business model behind this thing. Like, why do we need a physical church? I could donate more money to charity if people actually tithe and donate, make their offerings to a website, because all I got is what? Hosting service? And then SoundCloud? And I got to pay my cut to the pastors and the priests. But how much more money could go to, like, actual help out, I don't know, the orphans in some other fucking village you Christians are going to go save or something. I don't know. But I'm being deadly serious. The overhead is cut so much, even with my greedy capitalist take. I'd imagine a fair amount of money would be coming in. Now I got to think about that because this is just an idea. We're as you go, let me give you some advice about entrepreneurship. You don't exactly know where these roads are going to lead until you're there. I got to start thinking about charities, like legitimate ones. None of this Wounded Warriors bullshit where they take the money and 90% of it goes to the frickin' administrators. I got to make sure the money actually goes to some kind of place. So I was thinking like St. Jude's children's thing, like the children's cancer. I hear that's a good one. But if you guys, okay, send me pastors, send me priests, but then also if you know of legitimate nonprofits, I guess it would also have to be religious because I don't know why the pastors would sign up for it. I mean, I guess somebody would have to go to the actual church. God almighty, would I be donating to the Catholic Church? Look at this. Look at this. Oh, the irony. Even though I'm very anti-religion, I'd end up donating more money with this business idea to the church. I would donate more money than I ever donated as a kid. In one paycheck, if this actually worked, I'd be donating more money to the Catholic Church and the Christian churches than I would have ever donated in my life before. I guess that's why I'm like not so feeling guilty about like, oh, you're just capitalizing. Yes, I am capitalizing off of it. I'm also benefiting these people as well. We'll see. I'm not expecting to cash in on my third take of the 7.5 potential $1 trillion annual tithing market, but we'll find out. All right, well, listen, that's it for the podcast. Listen, do me a favor, vote up the podcast on iTunes.com. I guess that's a big thing. I don't know. For the boys out there, check your nuts and check your ass. Make sure you ain't got the testicular cancer or the other cancer, the prostate cancer. And if your girlfriend's not going to fidget with your nuts, you're going to have to fidget with your nuts for yourself, okay? Also have the doctor take a look at your ass. Make sure you ain't got the ass cancer. And do that once a month, okay? Because testicular cancer is very easy to cure. You just got to make sure you ain't got no lumps or hard spots on your balls. The what's it called? The prostate cancer, though, that needs to be professionally checked. You can't fidget with your nuts and say, oh, I got the cancers. Oh, my God. Turn me into Hitler. Cut one off. And then the blog, the YouTube channel, the podcast, and all that other stuff. Please go ahead, tell family, friends, enemies, loved ones, and people you are generally indifferent about. Trying to grow the old Cappy Cap online media empire. And tell everybody about the books and the stuff and the things and I don't know. Just tell friends. Spread the word around. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got. I'll catch up with you kids later. Toodles.